The city was just beginning to awaken from its sleep. Olga got up early so that she had time to prepare breakfast. She fluttered around the kitchen, breathing in her favorite aroma of freshly brewed coffee, making delicious sandwiches for herself, her husband and her oldest daughter, and waffles for her youngest son. I wanted to lie in bed a little longer than usual, but I had to force myself to get up. And now a kind of vigor was slowly filling every cell of the body. Good morning. Charlie came into the kitchen. Good morning. Olga wanted to kiss her husband, but he wouldn't let her. Yesterday they did not manage to talk, as Charlie came back late. Olga, tired with the children, was already asleep. She heard her husband lie down next to her, but even the strength to open her eyes and ask if everything was all right was not there. How do you feel? Are you okay? I called you yesterday to find out why you were late, but you didn't answer, Olga spoke. She tried to stay out of her husband's business, because he said that he would solve all his work problems and issues himself, but she wanted to help and support him. Everything is fine, I'm just tired. I had to go to a meeting with the partners yesterday. I told you I wouldn't be back for a while. Your business. You said things weren't going according to plan. Is there anything I can do to help you? Just don't ask stupid questions. That's the best you can do, Charlie replied in an irritated tone. Olga nodded and went back to the stove. Her husband was closing himself off from her, and was not ready to share his worries. It was very upsetting, because before their relationship had been very different. I have something to tell you, but don't get hysterical. Her hands shook. Olga turned the waffles over. She turned toward her husband and looked at him, trying to keep a smile on her lips. Yeah? I'm listening to you. We're not gonna be able to spend this vacation together. I've heard those words so often lately. We won't be able to take the kids to the zoo together. We won't be able to spend the weekend together. The children were looking forward to the vacation more than Olga herself. They had already imagined that they would spend time with their father. They were happy, but it turned out as usual. What's the matter? Do you have plans? Are you going to cancel your vacation again? We were going to go to the sea, to enjoy the sun and the warm waves. No. I won't say no. I'll go to the sea with my mistress, and you take the kids to the village. Let them relax in the fresh air. At that moment the plate, which Olga took to transfer the waffles, slipped out of her hands and shattered on the tile. Looking at her husband, Olga tried to read in his eyes even the slightest hint of a joke, but no. He spoke seriously. With a mistress? You have a mistress? The woman barely managed to squeeze out of herself. I asked you not to get hysterical. I don't have time to soothe you, wipe your snot and make excuses. Yes. I have a mistress. All men have one. It's a normal thing. You didn't think you were the only one, did you? Especially with you always being tired because of the kids. When I'm irritated, I need a woman to help me relieve the tension. That's why I took a mistress. That's it. Pack up the glass before the kids get here and keep setting the table. Nothing's gonna change between us. We'll remain a family, just vacation together another time. As if on automatic, Olga took the pan off the stove so that the waffles would not burn, sat down and began to collect the glass. At that moment she thought only of the children. About how to tell them this terrible news: their father has another woman. Olga was not even going to stay with the traitor. She could not imagine how she could let go of such a terrible offense. Charlie spoke as if he was proud of his adventures and did not feel guilty in the slightest. After collecting the glass and setting the table, Olga went to wake the children. Her husband grabbed her arm, forcing her to stop and look him in the eye. I told you nothing will change between us. Do you understand? I just got tired of hiding like a boy. I thought it was better to tell you the truth right away. I was tired of making up stupid excuses every time, so I decided to be honest with you. Thank you. I'll be honest with you too, things have changed. I can't stand your behavior, so the best thing to do is just break up. I wouldn't want. Charlie didn't let his wife finish, squeezing her hand tighter. It hurt, and the woman tried to get free, but it didn't work. You will do as I say. Just dare to leave me, and I'll take away your parental rights. Without me, you're nothing. You can't give your kids anything. I provide for them and you, so I demand respect for myself. Charlie, let go, please, it hurts. Olga was afraid of her husband, because she had never seen him like this before. She decided that she would not argue with him now, so as not to bring him to sin, and as soon as he left for work she would pack her things, her children, and run away with them. She didn't know where to go, but it would be better far away, so that he wouldn't find them and wouldn't dare to take the children away. I warned you. The man drew his wife to him and kissed her, but the touch of his lips caused nothing but disgust. Olga had nowhere to go. She did not communicate with her parents, because they had long ago traded their daughter for a drink. As soon as her husband left, Olga immediately called her friend. Jessica was shocked by the story. Well, you definitely cannot come to me, he will look here. Or maybe you can go to my grandfather's house? 50 kilometers from the city. It is empty, and you could live there with the children, until your husband will not get over it, and then divorce quietly. We'll think of something? Olga agreed. That same evening she ran off with the kids, telling them it was a game. And they are going on a little adventure. Charlie called his wife, wrote her threatening messages, but she tried not to react. Though it was scary, horror blocked the consciousness, but still should not give in to panic. The woman would have enough money for the first time, and then she would certainly think of what to do. In the village where Olga and her children came to, a paramedic was needed, and Ollie had a medical education. She got a job and hoped that her husband would not be able to find her and the children. Charlie did not calm down, continuing to send threats. He even came to Jessica, threatening her too, but she quickly fought back, saying she would complain to her brother, who works in law enforcement. Charlie seemed to be laying low, and that was scary. The silence was scarier than anything else, because you don't know what the next move the enemy might make. It became funny to think that the husband, whom she loved with all her heart, became an adversary. After a couple months, the man managed to find his wife and children. How he managed to do it remained a big mystery. He demanded that they return home right away, if the wife did not want to spend the rest of her life with bruises on her face or be unable to communicate with her children. Why do you need us? You said yourself you have someone else. Just leave us. The kids like living here. We're not gonna cause you any trouble. I'm not even asking you to pay child support. Just leave us alone. I'll never leave you alone because you're my thing. You married yourself, and now you're gonna be my thing for the rest of your life. Pack your bags right now. The children huddled fearfully in the corner. They could feel the anger coming from their father, afraid of him. They didn't want to interfere, lest they make things worse. Repeat what you just said. A velvety male voice came from behind Charlie. The man loosened his grip, releasing his wife, and Olga immediately rushed to the children. Who the hell are you? Don't interfere if you don't want. Charlie was not allowed to finish. William, Jessica's brother, who had come to give his sister's friend some things from her, slapped Charlie in the cheekbones so hard that he almost fell, losing his balance. It's just a warning, William hissed. You don't leave them alone, you'll go to jail. It won't be hard to find a way to put you away for a long time. So you got yourself another man? Charlie laughed. I wondered when you got so brave. It's all right. You'll regret it. Bitterly regret that you chose him. And I'll file for divorce and leave you nothing. I guess the kids aren't mine either. That's why I felt nothing but contempt for them. Olga hugged the children, tried to cover their ears, so that they did not hear the evil words of their father, but all to no avail. There was no point in justifying the traitor any longer. Charlie left, and William smiled good-naturedly. He said that Olga should not thank him and asked him to let him know immediately if her ex-husband appeared on the horizon again. William became a frequent visitor to their home, and Olga herself did not notice how attached to him. The children were happy every time, telling the man how they spent their time in the village, and he listened so attentively, as Charlie had never listened to them. Soon, when Olga obtained a divorce and got Charlie's parental rights terminated, William proposed to her, and she agreed to give the man a chance. Before, she had never seen him as a man, looking at him only as her best friend's brother, because he was 2 years younger and seemed very young, but now Olga saw a real man. William accepted her children as his own and became a real friend to them, but Charlie. He was angry that he had lost a toy, but he had no idea that he had lost the most valuable thing he had. He would have to realize that years later. But then it would be too late.